you've seen this thing, right? He pitches, tried
yeah.
to
Oh, yeah. Hey, it didn't matter. And I would bet you Rabbi Shmuley Botek is probably a Jewish guy who sold him the real estate and couldn't give Jack Diddley squat that was Qaddafi as long as that green in between said, "In God we trust." Screwy Louis Farrakhan got millions from him. People were into getting Qaddafi money. They didn't care that he was a killer or marauder. They just said he's mad crazy, but hey, George W. Bush likes him now, so I guess he's good crazy.
And look, he didn't lose his legitimacy when he blew up Pan Am 103 or the LaBelle discotheque or any of the other terrorist acts. He never had legitimacy. He took power through a violent military coup in 1969. He was never a legitimate leader. Let's just start with that. And I think we ought to look into whether he's selling all of his gold through Cash for Gold and tap G. Gordon Liddy's phones.
Go ahead, Tam.
I'm still like caught up on the Beyonce song, you know? No, but what? Why is he still around? What is he still doing? Why do we continue to spend money on him while he travels the world with his entire family and spends large amounts of money?
I'm going to get to Leslie in 1 second. But Rabbi, what about it? You know, are all these assets coming back to us, or these are owned by the state of Libya?
Well, first of all, I have long said that the city of Englewood, New Jersey should be seizing the property that is my immediate next-door neighbor and making it to either a convalescent home for American soldiers returning from Afghanistan or Iraq, make it into a center that spread values, one of the most important values that we Americans need today, that won't allow these Arab dictators just to flourish until they overdo it, is a hatred of evil. What happened to good old-fashioned hating evil? What happened to having your stomach turn when you hear stories that Hollywood celebrities are making millions of dollars catering to the blood money of a cold-blooded killer? We have 37 residents of the state of New Jersey whose relatives were blown to smithereens over the skies of Lockerbie. That was in 1988. Right. This man has gotten away with it all of the time because we don't hate evil. We always excuse it. And President Obama finally took action, and I laud him for it. But, you know, did he really have to be dragged kicking and screaming by the British, the French, and even African
Leslie,
countries to finally intervene?
Why did it take the French really to say we're going with or without you before Obama decided to join the party?
The word on the street, Eric, is... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Leslie.
Sorry. Oh, the word on the street basically is that the resolution wouldn't be passed unless the United States was on board, and that's what I think the call from Secretary Clinton was about in regards to that. I do want to say one thing about your celebs, being that I live in La La Land. This story broke about Beyonce ages ago here in Los Angeles, by the way, just to let you know, in local media circles. And Nelly Furtado gave the $1 million that she was paid back to a charity. She said she would do it, and that is confirmed.
Nonetheless, the son of Qaddafi, I mean, he's been known to throw lavish parties in St. Bart's and all around the world. Boy, that's blood money.
Well, Eric,
I'm sorry, Rabbi. Weigh in, Rabbi.
Well, look, beyond even the stories of their slaughtering of civilians, the Qaddafi family, I mean, one of the sons was in Claridge's Hotel, I believe it was Christmas night 2 years ago. He allegedly beat his wife to a pulp. He was supposed to be arrested by the British police. He pulls out a diplomatic passport. They let him go. The wife and the husband, same couple, allegedly beat their domestic servants to a pulp in Switzerland.
Right.
And Qaddafi went and then
so
you're talking about mafia.
British Petroleum was kissing his tuchus. The Italians kissed his tuchus because they had the beachfront property that they invested in. America loved him because he gave us information about Al-Qaeda. So we align ourselves with these screwball, crackpot, despotic dictators, anti-Semites. But as long as they're with us, we give them absolution.
And we have to leave it right there, Rabbi Shmuley. Thank you very much for your time, my friend. All right, coming up next, the Gipper in these dangerous times, who will step up and be our new Ronald Reagan.
Colonel Qaddafi is not only an enemy of the United States. His record of subversion and aggression against the neighboring states in Africa is well documented and well known. He has ordered the murder of fellow Libyans in countless countries. He has sanctioned acts of terror in Africa, Europe, and the Middle East, as well as the Western Hemisphere. Today, we have done what we had to do. If necessary, we shall do it again. It gives me no pleasure to say that, and I wish it were otherwise.
Boy, that was a great statesman. That was Ronald Reagan back in 1986. Who was mourning in America again, and no one messed with him or us. He meant what he said, and he carried a big stick. So, who's our Ronald Reagan today? It's a tough question, guys. Anyone? Do we have one?
I don't want a Ronald Reagan. I remember Ronald Reagan having pulled up, waved the white flag, and run out of Lebanon. The terrorists ran us out of Lebanon. I'm never going to forget the Marine barracks that were blown up, and we never retaliated. So, hey, he was right to put the juice in Qaddafi's caboose, but we left with our tails between our legs in Lebanon, and that empowered the terrorists. He was not good against fighting terrorism. Everything else, God bless Ronald Reagan, but not in fighting terrorism.
He warmed up to it after the Achille Lauro, after some other incidents. We lost 241 Marines in Beirut, and everyone from the Reagan administration will tell you that that was one of the big mistakes, was pulling out of Lebanon after that. But he did go straight after terrorists, including Gaddafi,
Is there anyone who can be... It's not Obama. Don't tell him.
Sarah Palin. Sarah Palin.
Where's this? Are you kidding me? No.
Well, what we do know now...
But when Reagan went into Lebanon, he only had a 25% approval rating. We did not agree with that move. And that's the question now as well with Obama.
Last word, Leslie. Wrap it up for us, kid.
The majority of Americans don't agree with us being in Libya, but they also don't agree with us remaining in Afghanistan and Iraq. And as far as another Ronald Reagan, I don't want another Ronald Reagan.
But I do.
And that's what you
want
GOP guys need. But you got to look hard for 2012. You don't have him.
He's not available. It's Mark Levin, my good friend on the radio. He's a good friend of ours. Right, that's it. Leslie Marshall in L.A. Tamara Holder right here in New York. It's great. Fantastic. Chris Plant, Curtis Sliwa. Love you guys. See you tomorrow night.